My casino staff thought they could do whatever they wanted while I was on leave, so I showed up as a homeless junkie. I've been away from my casino on personal leave and wanted to see how my employees operate when no one's breathing down their necks. So instead of scheduling a formal inspection, I showed up unannounced while my manager was in Singapore. I walked through the front doors and immediately noticed something was off. The security guard at the entrance looked at me with obvious disgust. I dressed down in an old shirt and worn jeans and hadn't shaved for 3 days to avoid being recognized. Otro gringo drogadicto gastando su cheque de welfare, he muttered to his partner. Another meth head white boy wasting his welfare check, which made them both laugh. Though I understood every word, I kept quiet and headed for the penny slots. The cocktail waitress passed by my machine 3 times before I finally got her attention. When she saw my small pile of crumpled bills, she told me water was free, but I'd need to pay up front for anything else. She actually wiped her hands on her apron after touching my money. It was clear she thought that I couldn't afford it. The dealer at the nearest blackjack table kept glancing over and told his colleague, "Estos tipos siempre golpean a sus esposas cuando pierden." These types always beat their wives when they lose. My luck got better when I won $30 on the slots, but when I went to cash out, the cashier immediately called security over. "Revisa si este yonki robo fichas," she said, telling them to check if this junkie stole any chips. The security guard bumped me hard into the machine before patting me down aggressively, his hands rough as he checked every pocket. As he did that, the men laughed that my kids were probably home hungry while daddy got high at the casino. The commotion had drawn the attention of a pit boss who strutted over like he owned the place. He took one look at me and shouted that I was exactly the type who'd pimp out his own mother for substance money. The other employees laughed and agreed, with one suggesting I probably already had. A female dealer added that men like me were why she carried pepper spray, that we were all potential R-pists who couldn't handle rejection. Another employee chimed in that I looked like the kind of pervert who hung around playgrounds. I forced myself to stay calm and turned back to the dealer, trying to keep my voice steady. Someone else muttered that I probably lived under a bridge. "Where's the owner of this place?" Suddenly, he burst out laughing. "I haven't seen that fucker in months. He doesn't gaff about this place." My heart dropped. The reason I had taken leave was to help take care of my newborn baby girl. 8 months of sleepless nights and diaper changes while my company fell apart. All I could think about was my personal leave, how my manager had sworn he'd maintain the highest standards. But things took a darker turn when I headed to the bathroom, because that's when I noticed staff members leading teenagers through a side door into a back room I hadn't authorized. Following at a distance, I found young kids, some who couldn't have been older than 13, sitting at rigged slot machines. A staff member slapped food from a crying girl's hands. "Los ganadores comen, los perdedores juegan," he ladró. Winners eat, losers play. They were hunched over machines with dark circles under their eyes, some barely able to keep their heads up. Another girl who looked around 9 was softly crying as she pressed the buttons, and I heard a staff member tell her she still owed $300 before she could leave. I recognized what was going on immediately. Any high-end casino owner would. They were using children as collateral for their parents' debts. The rage that built in my chest was unlike anything I'd ever felt. "What the hell is going on here?" I demanded, unable to stay silent any longer. The night manager grabbed me by the collar, his face twisted in anger. In Spanish, he told the others I was just another gringo trying to play hero, probably hoping to touch the kids myself. Before I could respond, he was calling for security, shouting that I'd seen too much. 2 guards appeared immediately, one landing a solid punch to my stomach that doubled me over before dragging me through the casino. My feet scraped against the carpet as they hauled me like a sack of garbage, and I could taste blood in my mouth from where I'd bitten my tongue. But I wasn't worried, because I was the owner of the casino, and I was going to use that to make them all pay. Full story on channel, link below.